What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back with some breaking news, or not quite breaking news, but
breaking reports.
Breaking reports. Apparently he is a tier 1 source, according to the Spurs Express and Mark.
We all know the Spurs Express very well in his tier list.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't know about the tier list, so basically Mark ranks journalists in terms of rating, in terms of reliability. So 1 being the most reliable and 4 being the least reliable. And this is potentially a tier 1 source. Who's the source?
It's the Guardian football correspondent David Heitner is reporting the transfer news just now regarding the deal between Spurs and Southampton for Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. And we're apparently in negotiations currently with them in terms of a swap deal for Kyle Walker-Peters going the other way. And apparently both teams are very confident that a deal is going to be struck.
Now, I was talking about this in the player ratings. I touched on it slightly, saying that I feel that if we are to bring him in, I think Winks will suffer. And I think Winks will see a lot less minutes. How do you feel about that?
Look, Winks has got a battle for his place. He always has done. And I think sometimes when you bring in competition, it can be a good thing. Like, I remember if you look at Chelsea, I remember when under Jose Mourinho, he had Didier Drogba up front, and then they brought in Shevchenko, and what did Drogba do? He went and scored 30 goals. Like, he upped his game massively. He didn't just sulk and say, oh, this guy's coming with 30 million.
It's not like Shevchenko was giving him any danger, though, was it?
No, this guy came in as a £30 million signing, you know what I mean? So I think competition is always a good thing. I'm not going to be bogged down in saying I'm worried for Harry Winks, because if Højbjerg's a better player or if Højbjerg performs better, I want him to see him play. That's what I want. I want what's best for Spurs, not what's best for each individual player. And obviously I want Harry Winks to do well. I love Harry Winks, and I want Harry Winks to be better than Højbjerg because I just want him to be good. But if we're upgrading the squad, improving players, and as Jose Mourinho said, Spurs are the only team that get questioned when they have good players on the bench. It's a squad game. Look at Man City, how many good players they have on the bench. Look at Liverpool, how many good players they have on the bench. So
as Jose said, when this whole Ndombele thing started causing this whole circus, he said top teams have good players on the bench.
Exactly, and that's a fact. So I'm happy for this deal to get done. I'm looking forward to if this deal does get done. I'm happy if Højbjerg comes. I think he is a good player. I think he was a solid player at Bayern Munich. Things didn't quite work out for him there, but I think he's been really good for Southampton. And I think once if he plays for Spurs, he'll be playing a bit of a different role, because for Southampton he has a bit more responsibility on the ball than he would for Spurs. For Spurs, he would just look at sitting and kind of defending the back four, and that could be a lot better for him because he doesn't have to kind of move around the pitch as much.
It's funny you say that, because I was speaking to a Southampton fan this morning. He was in the office with me, and we were talking about Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and he was saying he's not a very good player. So I was like, what do you mean he's not a good player? I mean, he's quite highly rated. And he's like, if you want someone that's just going to break up play and that's all he's going to do, then he's great. But apart from that, you don't want him. And I was like, that is exactly what we need. That is all we need, is someone just to be in there and break up play.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
He says that is the only thing he does well.
I think, no, but that's what I'm saying. So I think at Southampton, because of the requirements they have in the team, he has a lot more responsibility on the ball to be a bit more of a passer of the ball, a bit more of a ball carrier. Where I'm not saying he's awful at that, that's just not his forte, that's my point. And if he has less responsibility in that field and just has the responsibility of breaking up play, he also can, when he's given the chance, get the ball on the ground and play a bit of football. He's not terrible at that, he's just not his forte. So I think that it's a good signing, it's a good option for us. And I'm looking forward to him being part of the team.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a signing, well, not a signing, but a position which we've been crying out for since Moussa Dembele left, really.
And also he's a leader. He's captain of Southampton. He is a very young guy as well, 23 or 24. So to be captain of a Premier League team at that age is quite commendable. And
it shows leadership as well. Came from Bayern Munich.
And Pep loved him at Bayern. Pep was a big fan of him at Bayern, I remember. He started to play him a lot. I think just things didn't quite work out. I think he fell out of favour a bit. I think he wanted more game time and whatnot. But I think it's a promising signing, and I think it's good price. I think it's a good value for money at the moment, and it's a player who has potential to be better than we've seen. So I'm quite looking forward to it. Kyle Walker-Peters, obviously, look, if he wants more playing time, I don't think he's ever going to be number one at Spurs. That's the pure matter of fact.
You got to commend Kyle for going over to Southampton and playing the way he is, because he is playing great football. But having said that, I have seen moments in those Kyle Walker-Peters performances at Southampton that I just don't think we'll cut it at Spurs. I mean, you've seen when we had Trippier at right back, where fast players used to breeze past him, and you saw that against, I think it was against Man City or against someone Southampton were playing the other day, and these fast players just breezed past Kyle Walker, and yeah, it's just
Man United maybe.
Maybe it was it was Man United. It was Man United. So Martial just breezed past him, and that just gave me flashbacks of Kieran Trippier against Sane and all that kind of stuff.
Look, Kyle Walker Peters, I've no doubt he can be a good fullback and a Premier League level fullback. But you know, with what Spurs are aspiring to be, I just feel like he's never going to be number one right back at Spurs.
I think he'll find his home at Southampton, that kind of level.
Yeah, and I think it'll be good for him get some minutes under his belt, get some first team football. And look, he's not going on loan, so we just wish him all the best. Look, nothing's done, but I'm just saying if he does go, we wish him all the best. And hopefully he makes a good career out in the Premier League. I just feel like we require at the moment just a higher standard of fullback, and we need to be signing someone at right back to be our number one.
When you look at the teams going down, or potentially going down, you've got teams like Bournemouth, Norwich who are down. Who else is there? West Ham, Watford, and who's the other
Villa.
one? And Villa. So you've got a lot of good players in those teams that could potentially, get for a cut price. Well, I said Jack Grealish is one.
Not for 5 million, though.
No, not for 5 million or for 4 million. Thanks, Daniel. Right back, Max Aarons. Left back, Jamal Lewis. Ben Godfrey, the centre back.
So you want the whole Norwich back?
No, I don't want them. I'm just saying, look at these good players.
Yeah.
Tyrone Mings, Buendia.
Cantwell,
you know what I mean?
Even like Callum Wilson, I would take as a backup striker. Like, there's a few players probably that are up for grabs who we could probably look into. And I think it's easy to think like, if we do sign a player from one of these teams, it's so easy for like fans to say, classic Spurs signing players from relegation teams.
All you've got to do is look at Liverpool. Look at the fullbacks they signed. Where was Robertson was from Hull, and they signed another one from the Championship as well, didn't they? At some point.
Klein wasn't from the Championship, but. No, but I 100% agree. You got. I think the perfect example for me is someone like Idrissa Gueye, who signed from Everton for Villa. Villa went down; they were awful. By and large, they had an absolutely shocking season. No one didn't see any quality in their team. But people were saying this guy, Idrissa Gueye, was actually putting in good performances in centre mid. He signed for Everton, and now he's at PSG. Like with these, you can get good value and good players for teams who get relegated.
Nathan Ake is another one.
100%. I agree with that. So I think at the moment with the whole COVID thing, we've got to look for good value for money. And I think there are some players in the teams going down who could provide that.
Yeah, and they're also talking about a lot of loan deals. And I'll tell you one which would be great is Luka Jovic from Real Madrid. He's not getting any minutes there. Why not get him in on loan?
Because he probably wants some first team football. Why would he swap the bench for Madrid?
But if you're playing a 4-4-2 formation, get Son on the wing, and I know he's not going to do the defensive work that Jose wants, but you can play Kane and Jovic up front, or Son and Jovic up front at times.
I always feel like a player has to have confidence in themselves that they're going to be so good they can't be left out. And if you don't have that confidence, I don't want you on my team.
The only players that have this kind of confidence is like Vincent Janssen and those kind of players.
No, I don't think he did. I think Janssen came and was prepared to sit on the bench and try and get into the team. But I want players who have a mentality like, I don't care who is in your team at the moment.
Alvaro Morata.
Unlike Alvaro Morata. I just want players who have that mentality like, I don't care who you have starting or who's your starting striker. I'm not going to let you drop me. I'm not going to let you leave me out. And that's what I want.
But I was saying to someone last night that a transfer window of Højbjerg, Aarons, Ake, and some sort of loan player for a sub striker, I thought that'd be a brilliant window.
I think it would be a good window, and I think we maybe there's one position you think
a left back.
There's first of all left back. And maybe a creative midfielder would be perfect.
We're not going to get a creative midfielder.
We're not going to bring a creative midfielder. It all depends on what's going to happen with Ndombele. We just don't know. Don't know. He's out for the rest of the season. Whether Mourinho actually trusts him, whether there's a falling out. Look, it doesn't look great at the moment. It really doesn't.
Yeah. Look, we've seen this show before, you know what I mean?
Let's hope it can all be turned around. And look, in the end of the day, if we do let him go, say for 50, 60 million, we're going to have to reinvest it. I can't imagine we're going to let him go and not reinvest that money. So hopefully we can sign a good replacement if we do.
All right, so there you have it. That is the breaking news for today, or breaking report, shall I say.
Transfer news.
Yeah, it's just transfer news. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg apparently coming to Spurs, with Kyle Walker-Peters going in the other direction on a permanent deal. Let me know what you think of this deal. It is definitely something Spurs need. Is he the right personnel for Tottenham? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.